afternoon children. Here we begin with our next lesson, which is the Sangam age. Now, the Sangam age covers about 3rd century BC to 4th century BC. Now, this age is mostly concerned with the South India. Now, which region do we call as South India? Beginning from the present day Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, okay, and till Kanyakumari, those regions, Karnataka, these regions all together contribute to become the southern region of India. So this Sangam age is mostly concerned with the southern part. Earlier, these states have emerged now, but before this, that means when we are talking about the ancient period, during those periods, there were no states like Karnataka or Andhra Pradesh or Tamil Nadu and Kerala, etc. Rather, this was totally called as Tamilakam. Now, why was it called as Tamilakam? The main reason for calling it Tamilakam was its language. The most important language of the South India was Tamil. Okay. Though there were other languages also which were spoken like Kannada, Malayalam, Telugu, but out of all these languages, the important language was Tamil. Now this region, Tamilakam, the capital city of this region was Madurai. Madurai is not only a religious center, but was a social center also, was a cultural center as well. Okay. Cultural center, when we talk about, that means it is mostly concerned with what? It is mostly concerned with the classical teaching and learning. Okay. This classical teaching and learning is usually concerned with the poetry work, literary works. Okay. So Madurai, as I told you, was the capital city, and South India especially is known for its 3 main kingdoms. Okay. These 3 main kingdoms were Cheras, Pandyas and Cholas. These 3 dynasties have the very important contribution in the southern part of India, beginning from the temples to the other cultural activities that take place in the southern region, or for which southern region is known. All these major contribution has been shown from Cheras, Pandyas and the Cholas dynasty. Okay, now we come to this word, Sangam. Okay, what does this word Sangam mean? Sangam age is actually known for, because of the 3 Sangam. This age, this period is actually known for 3 Sangams. Sangams of what? Sangam is combination. Okay, so Sangam of the poets and the scholars who used to meet, centered specially in Madurai. Okay. So there are, as I mentioned, 3 Sangams which were held. Because of these 3 Sangams, this total period or this total age is known to be as the Sangam age. Okay. The most, usually we denote history with according to the events that happened during that time. Okay. The most important event for which the South India, that age is known for, is the Sangams. Okay. The first Sangam was held in then Madura. Okay. Second Sangam was held in Kapatapura and third Sangam in Madura. As I have mentioned earlier also, that whenever we are studying history, there are certain sources which give us information about those periods. Okay? These sources can be either literary or they can be archaeological. So here we are going to learn about the sources. Now I mentioned about the important source, one which is literary and the other one which is archaeological. Now what do you understand? Now which is the literary source related to the Sangam age? There is a book which is known as Tirukural. Okay, Tirukural is a book which was written by Tiruvalluvar. Okay, a very important poet of that time. So Tirukural is a book which is written by Tiruvalluvar and is an important source of information about the Sangam age. Then when we talk about the when we talk about the archaeological sources, here I'll mention about megalith. Okay. Now what is this megalith? Megalith is composed of two important words, mega and lith. Lith means stones and mega means big or large. Okay, that means this is usually concerned or related to the burial of the period. Okay. Whenever the people of that period died, they used to bury them in the pits and used to put stones on them, huge stones, large stones on them. These were called as the megaliths. Okay, so these megaliths were of different types. They have been given different names. Like sometimes if 3 slabs were put, okay, so they have been given different names. Okay. Simply one slab has been put, then also different names. So megaliths were of different types. They have different categories. They were in different forms. Okay, their forms have been divided to be as dolmens, cysts, then cairn and ur. These are some of the types of the megalith. According to the structure of the stone, the pattern of the stone, how it was kept, okay, on the burial, okay, that is known as these are the forms, okay, this is how the megalith were. Okay. This is a very important archaeological source which tells us about the Sangam age. Okay. Now we will come to discuss about the other things. Whenever we are studying about the age, we also have to study about two important things. One is society and other one is economy. Okay. Now, society we need to know, because without knowing the society, we can't know about the age of that. Because that period, how the people, their religious beliefs or the status of the women, okay, what did the people of that time do? Without that, the information or the study of that period is just incomplete. So therefore, here we are going to learn about the next part, which is the society and the economic system. Society of the Sangam age. Before I move to the society of the Sangam age, I would like to mention about the society of the northern period. Okay, that is the northern region. Now, northern region society was usually divided into 4 varnas. The present day also we are following the same kind of varnas, okay, which you know to be as caste. Like you belong to Brahmins, or you belong to, we know that there are actually 4 varnas. Okay. One is Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and the Shudras. The Shudras are considered to be as the lowest level of the status, and that of Brahmins are considered to be the highest holders of the status in the society. Okay. So, like in the northern region, they had Varna system. In the southern region, we did not find any Varna system in India. But yes, society was divided in different divisions according to the status that they hold in the society. Okay. For example, and they were given different names also. Like for example, the Brahmins or the sages, they were given a very high status in the society. These Brahmins, they were called as the Araivars. They were the Brahmins. Okay. Then, as I told you, they had a very high status in the society. After that came the Velular. Who were these Velular? These Velular were the people who belonged to the aristocratic societies. Okay. Aristocratic means who were ministers or belonging to the royal families, kings, princes. They were called as the Velular. Okay. Then apart from this, they had Ullavar. Okay. Now, who were these Ullavar? Ullavar were mostly related to peasant society. Okay. Apart from this, there were other people also like hunters, okay, who were called as Ainar. Okay. And apart from this, there were Veduvar. Okay. So, this is how the society was actually divided into. Their society was usually concerned, as I told you, was not like the northern society, which had different Varna system, but here the society was divided according to these categories. Like Brahmins, Aristocratic, that means according to their work mostly. They were given the names according to the work that they practiced. And yes, this Veduvar were the shepherds. Okay. Now, whenever we are talking about a society, we can never forget about the lifestyle that these people usually enjoy. Okay. The mostly lifestyle, luxurious kind of lifestyle was enjoyed by the kings only. Okay. And these kings' courts had people like musicians as well as dancers. Then they used to live a very high profile life. Like they used to live in royal palaces which had beautiful gardens around. Then they lived in towns like places, and these towns were fortified. That means forts were built over there, huge forts, huge walls were built, so that direct enemy attacks will not be there. Ordinary people, on the other hand, used to live in simple families, in simple houses. Okay, whereas other merchants and all, they used to live in brick and mortar houses, the kind of houses that you live in. Okay, so that kind of houses they usually live. So this shows us that a difference was there in the society. Then, when we are talking about lifestyle, we also need to know about the position of women here. The position of women was quite terrible in the society. Okay, yes, the wives used to get a high status, or you can not high status we can say, but a wife was looked to be as with great respect in the society. But after, if a woman became widow, okay, she had to adopt for sati. Okay, that was more preferable for her rather than living a life. Okay. Now we come to the next part, which is economy. Whenever we are talking about economy means what? Economy means those things on which the people are dependent actually for their survival, okay? Which is their source of earning. Okay? Now, the most important source of earning over here was agriculture. That means the people mostly practiced agriculture, okay, or farming. Now, not only they practiced with agriculture, but along with that, trade was also done. This trade was both inland as well as with foreign lands. Inlands means within the area. Okay, so these usually preferred for road paths. Okay, they had cart or animal carriers through which they transported the things from one place to another. This was how inland trading used to take place. On the other hand, if we talk about foreign lands, then it is usually believed that the people of this Sangam age usually did the trade with places like Rome, Egypt, etc. Okay, there are other places as well, Arabia and all. Mostly the trading was done with Rome. Okay. Now how do we come to know about that they used to do trading with Rome? Because of the Roman coins that we have got. Okay. These Roman coins were usually made up of gold or they were made up of silver. So usually these Roman coins, a great amount of Roman coins have been found in the Tamil region. Okay, so therefore all in the southern region. So abundance of these coins in the southern region, in the regions, you can say interior state, in the interior Tamil state, that shows us that most of the trading used to take place in the Roman places. Okay. Now, what? So that means that both kind of import and export took place. Okay, trading was both import as well as export. That means we used to supply something and we used to get something in return. Now, what were the things that we used to exchange with each other? Like spices and all were exchanged, and along with that, they used to import the things like that of topaz, lead, copper, crude glass. These kind of things were usually imported from the other countries. Okay, not only this, but wine, wheat and other grains were also imported from the Roman Empire. Okay, so this is all about. Now, because of these things, there was rise in towns and ports. Now, why towns? Because mostly the people, the merchants, they used to prefer to stay in the town area because they did not want, they had a good, better life to live in the towns, as they fortified also. They had better society as compared to the villages. Now, when we talk about ports, that means naturally when trading used to take place, so port was also built. Now, why were these ports constructed? These ports were constructed because they had to move from the things from one place to another. So for that, these ports were also required. Hence, it gave rise in towns as well as ports. So this was the total economy that was being practiced in the Sangam age. According to your syllabus, you have to learn only this much which is related to the Sangam age. That means you have to learn about the archaeological sources, which I have already mentioned is the megalith. Then you have to learn about the literary source, which is the Thirukural, written by Thiruvalluvar, and you have to learn about the society of the Sangam age and the economy of the Sangam age. Okay. Now your homework would be that you have to write the notes that will be sent to you. You have to write this note neatly in your history notebook. Okay. Till then, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.